Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. We'll not be moving the table, so we can assess the floor if you want to keep the AC on or you want it off. On, off. Okay. Okay, thank you for this. Should be fine now. Elisa, go ahead.
Elisa Sekchen. Since the writing of my report, I wrote the 11th, 12th, and 13th OEM minutes. I shared them with the executive for review and afterwards to the LSs, as well as I started writing the 14th OEM minutes. I shared the GA package with LSs and gave access to the second ODs of member associations that sent in their correct credential forms. I read the team members' reports and asked questions, answered the questions I got on my report, attended the EA walkthrough, made the minuting schedule for the team to help me minute during team meeting and send it to them. I prepared my points for the team meeting and created minuting templates for TM and GA. And lastly, I created a spreadsheet for GA updates of the team and informed them about it, arranged meeting secretaries for the GA sessions and prepared them for it, as well as attended the second team meeting, LS meeting, and OD meeting.
Thank you, Elisa. Do we have any points, any comments, any remarks or questions on this? I see no comments. So we proceed to the next point on the agenda. Thank you, Elisa. Next one is the treasurer, Tiago Mendes. Tiago, go ahead.
Tiago, treasurer. So since writing the report, I've released the financial package for the 64th GA, reviewed all of the reports from the team, liaised with Cathy, events coordinator, about the logistics of merchandise sales, auctions, and raffles at AA22. I've created tools and tracking lists for these activities as well. Created the AA EPM EPS contract regarding the loan to be given to the third team meeting RC. Continued to work in the annual budget amendment. Finished creating the presentation for the financial updates for the second team meeting, and presented everything at the team meeting as well. Sent the annual budget amendment to the LSs and updated the 64 GA package. Had a meeting with the AA22RC, a meeting with the AC23RC, attended the APR epoxy workshop, liaised with the Portuguese merch manufacturer regarding the delivery of the teamwear to Athens. Was present in the ELS day at a feedback and preparation meeting for GA with the audit committee. Presented the financial documents for the 64 GA to the official delegates. Had a meeting with Mirva Almeida, ex-alumna and representative for the RC from AC21.
Thank you, Tiago. Do we have any questions or comments regarding this report? Anne?
Marion Annette France, why the bank account transition has been so complicated this year?
Thank you, Anne. Tiago, go ahead.
Tiago, treasurer. My kind of handover period was a bit troubling because we had some problems with the bank. So Access Bank currently is BNP Paribas Fortis, and the representative in the bank was not really communicative with us and wouldn't let us do the proper handover. So the switch of the basically the representatives from AXA at the bank. So this got pretty much delayed, and we tried to tackle it mainly with me going specifically to Brussels, so to have a physical meeting at their branch. But this was also hard because it was not we weren't going to have the meeting because the representative kind of canceled on last notice. But we managed to follow up and visit another branch in order for me to properly register. But then it was a whole new problem because it took even more time for me to be accepted in the branch itself again. But eventually we shared some correspondence. We got some help with Chloe, which was the Basti DA, and also Theo to liaise with them in French because that was their preferred language. They wouldn't really like to communicate in English with us, so it was kind of difficult. But in the end, we got this. We got the card. I got the card over email.
Thank you, Tiago. Any more Alex?
Mario Alexandre, considering the current situation of your accounts, what are your funding priorities with the fund receipt of the receipt for partners?
Thank you, Alex. Tiago?
Tiago, treasurer. So partners aren't really the main focus of my portfolio, but obviously I've been liaising with Theo, which is with him to see how his research and investigation on having new partners and sponsorships to EBSA, how it is going, how it's going. And you'll obviously also see this in my financial report in the next, tomorrow. But yeah, we're working on making more partners and establishing more income for us.
Thank you. Next we have KNPSV.
Elina, KNPSV the Netherlands. Thank you for your report and the work you've done for EBSA so far. We were wondering, you also stated in your report, we were there, that you held a meeting before the GA and you were also present at the OD meeting explaining the financial package. But are you going to ask feedback on those meetings? Because we have feedback.
Thank you, KNPSV. Clarification?
So, Tiago, treasurer, so I don't know if I understood, do you want me to ask for your feedback? Because the point of the meetings was to also get the feedback from DLS.
KNPSV, go ahead.
So, in the statement you say I'm presenting the documents, explaining them and clearing any doubts. So I mean not the feedback on your package, I mean the feedback on the goal of this thing, because the goal is for everyone to understand it, and maybe, we have feedback to maybe how you can change that so we actually reach the point that everybody understands it. So not on the package, but on the way you present the package.
Thank you, KNPSV. Wait, first KNPSV.
Elina, KNPSV, considering the confusion on my question, I don't think you are planning on asking us feedback. So, or you were? Okay, so my suggestion would be then that you open an email thread about where we can reply, because I think that's the best way where we can discuss and share our feedback to make it more optimal.
Thank you, KNPSV. Tiago?
Tiago, treasurer. So yeah, I obviously welcome all feedback, and I want the LSs to give feedback, and that is why I planned that the pre-GA meetings happen, so the financial matters. That is also why I was here giving again the presentation on financial matters, because I was not only presenting the financial documents but also open for your feedback. So I might have not directly asked for it, and that was maybe my bad. But yeah, I'm obviously open for your feedback, and I would want for you to use the pre-GA meetings and also the OD's meetings to give that input.
Thank you, Tiago. Are there any more comments, questions? Yes, KPSV, go ahead.
Okay, Amy KPSV Netherlands, new point about 2.13 in your report that you want to help like the Vice President of External Relations and also Vice President of European Affairs with sponsorship agreements. We were wondering, was this not done before, and how are you going to do that?
Thank you, KPSV. Tiago?
Diego Treasurer, so my goal is to be more directly linked to their work. From what I gather from at least the past mandate, where the communication wasn't really done between these two departments, so I wanted to be sure that I knew how much income was coming and how much we were expecting, how the negotiations were going, and also to help out in every way that I could, mainly regarding the EFSA's budget, EFSA's financial sustainability, so to see where I can give my input and just maybe try to have more sponsors, more partners.
Thank you, Tiago. Do we have any more comments or questions? KPSV, go ahead.
Alien KPs in the Netherlands. We were wondering if you have more updates on the merchandise. We saw that it was also now being sold there, but that was quite a small selection. So do you have any updates on the merchandise?
Thank you, KPSV. Tiago, go ahead.
Diego Treasurer. So yeah, the merchandise that was sold outside and that will still be selling is basically past merch that we've been gathering from every mandate. We haven't really been investing in merch lately, especially now we don't plan to because of all the financial situation that EFSA is in. But yeah, we also didn't, because this merch is stored in Brussels, so in the permanent office, and we have a special luggage that the interns bring. So we also don't have all the luggage, but in the near future we're not planning to invest on new merch.
Thank you, Tiago. Do we have any more comments or questions in the report, Treasurer? I see none. Thank you, Tiago. We'll proceed to the next report of Joseph Kunt, immediate past president. Joseph?
Joseph IPV. So since I submitted my report, I had my bi-weekly meeting with Gabriel. I helped Tiago reviewing the financial documents for the GA, and I also been in contact with Faye regarding the design of EFSA Code of Conduct.
Thank you, Joseph. Do we have any questions or comments regarding the report? Abed?
Joseph, Portugal, we just have a suggestion for the knowledge transfer part of your board. Because like in APEF, we have this practice that each member of our board does a week, like we have these like spreadsheets, and like we all fill it in like with everything you do like each week. And so it's easier for any member of the board to follow up on the work of everyone, and also for like the next mandate to also know like how everything was done during the old mandate. So I don't know, just a suggestion or something.
Thank you, Abed. Joseph?
Joseph IPV. So actually we do have, for executive, it's weekly updates and plans that they are doing for the online executive meetings. And for the rest of the team, so for all the coordinators and the neutral bodies, they have monthly updates when exactly they state what they did during the past month. And these spreadsheets are available throughout the Mondays. They are saved in our drives.
Thank you, Joseph. Do we have any more questions or comments? I see none. That we'll proceed. Thank you, Joseph. We'll proceed to the next point. The External Relations Department. We first take the report from the Vice President of External Relations, Theo Papago.
The OPPR. So regarding my updates, I had a meeting with AstraZeneca, Novartis, Sanofi, Janssen, IQVIA about Servier Takeda Pharma Forum. Together with Chloe, we wrote a reform report for Pharma 2022. I had a call with Regi Pharma, sent the contract and signed the contract with Halion, read and ask questions on team members' report and also the questions I received. I had a meeting with DIA and the other program advisors regarding the program of Leaders of Tomorrow of DIA Europe 2023. I had a live meeting in Brussels with UCOP regarding a possible internship and collaboration. I had a meeting together with Kashi, Kasha, and Moderna for that to collaborate on one of our public health campaigns regarding vaccination. I had an individual meeting with PIM regarding mobility booklet and an individual meeting with Alexander regarding the next project. I liaised with Euromed, had a meeting with Pfizer for future collaboration. I reviewed the contract with Equaship and shared it with the rest of the executive. I had a fortnightly meeting with Gabriel, had a meeting with Toulouse Business School regarding possible collaboration, had a meeting with Gabriel and Omnicell, attended the GA preparation meeting, financial meeting, second meeting, LSD, LS meeting, and audit meeting.
Thank you, Theo. Are there any comments or questions? Positive?
That's Romania. Thank you for your hard work. It's really big input to EFSA. And regarding the question, I saw on the report that you had a meeting with European Healthcare Students Association Summit, and you are discussing about summer university with this alliance, and we want to have a better understanding about this matter. As we think having two summer university, one from EFSA and one from the alliance would be too much, and they will have a competition getting the members. And having just one summer university with the alliance will rise the difficulty of organizing it.
Thank you, Pastor. Just as a technical, please keep your points high up until some of the PC members gives you a thumbs up so that we can note you down on a list and we can keep track of the discussion. And we go to Theo.
The OBPR, so just for a point of context, during ESA's meeting in September, we talked about the possibility of having an ESA's summer university, so not two summer university, it would be either an EFSA summer university or ESA summer university to have an interprofessional for having the first interprofessional event. So we will not do it this year as we have PPSA that apply to organize it, but that's something we want to investigate to see if it is feasible and if it would be relevant. So we plan to investigate it, and I think if the next steps are coming, we will send you an email to have your opinion, but for now, we are currently investigating with Catalina.
Thank you, Theo. Next on the speaking list is Apef.
Giuseppe, first of all, first, congratulating you on your work there. Thank you so much. We figured out it was kind of hard to just take the position from almost the beginning of it and just starting it again. But our question is, did the collaboration with the Erasmus Student Network bring already any benefit for EFSA?
Thank you, Apef. Theo?
Can you repeat the collaboration with what?
Apef, go ahead.
Erasmus Students Network.
Theo?
Theo, VPR. So the last mandate, we saw that the collaboration was not efficient. So this year with BIM, we really want to investigate further the possibility because we are an associate member only for 1 year now. And I think for the project, especially for mobility booklet, it can be interesting to have their input and to have the information in there. So I think the goal is to investigate that first and see after if it's still relevant to be associate member of them.
Thank you, Theo. This is clear on the Apef.
Giuseppe, Portugal. We noticed that in your report, you also mentioned that EAHP was kind of not happy with the amount of students that EFSA was getting for their events. So is there any strategy plan to solve the situation and make more students to attend their events?
Thank you, Apef. Theo?
Theo VPR. So together with Kasha, we brainstorm on how to make the student program of EHP more attractive. So we decided to do like a format of workshop during this event with under the format of having mentors discussing directly with students. So we are waiting for them to send us the promotional material to start an email thread with you to explain you everything. It will be happening in March from the 22nd of 24th. So you have more information, and I think I'm still waiting for them to get with APEP directly, as it will be happening in this board.
Thank you, Theo. Next we have GPSF.
And Mr. Prince, here we just want to congratulate you on your great work, as well as changes you have done in our event, sponsorships, and the help that you have provided to us. We're very grateful.
Thank you, GPSF. Then we have BPSA with a new point. Go ahead.
On the BPSA United Kingdom, first of all, the BPSA would like to congratulate on the report. It's very detailed and thorough. BPSA has requested to ask in regards to collaboration with IPSF. So it's draw to the clause 2.2.1. Sorry about that. And so you talked about that your last go is to do a joint project with IPSF. Do you have any ideas about it and any negotiation about it, or how the process about it? Thank you.
Thank you, BPSA. Theo?
Theo VPR. So our last meeting with IPSF and Isabella were on the 26th of September. We mainly discussed of possible collaboration for a public health campaign, and we just agreed a few days ago that we will do a joint public health campaign on discriminations. So it will happen in June. And regarding other collaboration, it will be discussing during the negotiation of the MOU that will start in November or December.
Thank you, Theo. Next, we have APEF.
Just about my Portugal, this is more like a curiosity first. We noticed that it's had a lot of collaborations with oncology-related organizations. Is there any reason for this, or is it just like something that happened naturally?
Thank you, APEF. Theo?
Theo, sure, that's something that happened like this. Especially for European Cancer Organization, we had the chance to have a live meeting with them to attend their summit, which can be a very, very good opportunity for us to discover their work and maybe collaborate more with them, but there is no particular reason.
Thank you, Theo. Are there any more comments or questions? Yes, go ahead, and PSA.
So I'm PSA North Macedonia regarding JEE. So you stated in your report that you find it very unprofessional. The JEE dropped out of the project at Hackathon very suddenly. So did they give any specific reason for dropping the project all of a sudden?
Thank you, Theo.
Theo VPR. So this project was initiated with the previous board of GE. So with Catalina, we started the meeting in June. With them, we had two meetings with like the both boards, so the previous one and the new one. At the very beginning, everything was fine, and then when we had basically our third meeting and the first with only the new board, they said that they didn't realize the amount of work that it would represent, even if we signed this MOU with them, and they didn't.
Thank you, Theo. Are there any more questions or comments? BPSA, go ahead.
After BPSA United Kingdom, just a question that we get was about partnering with other European or international student organizations. Is there any plans from EFSA, this department, about expanding the partnership with other disciplinary European student associations?
Thank you, BPSA. Theo?
VPR. So our main collaboration regarding other students' organizations are the Health European Student Organization, so ESAS, which is composed of ENSA, and EFSA. Our main goal is to, I think the next European organization that we could collaborate on can be, for example, ELSA, which is the European Student Organization, potentially having interprofessional connect with them. But except of that, our main focus are still to stay in health European student organization.
Thank you, Theo. There are no more points on the speaking list. Are there any more comments or questions? If not, then we will proceed to the next point. Thank you, Theo. Next one, we have the mobility coordinator, Pim Nikolai van den Doel. Technical, Pim.
The mobility coordinator, I wrote it in third person. Is that okay? Or, yeah?
Go ahead, Pim.
The mobility coordinator, wait. Yes. Since writing the report, we brainstormed the Theo Parvar PPER regarding the mobility booklets, received a reaction from ENSA about the ASSI interprofessional exchanges, replied to them, and liaised with Caterina Silva PPEA and Theo Parvar PPER about the interprofessional exchanges. Pim attended the AA walkthrough. Furthermore, Pim prepared one of the new Google Forms for Twinnet coordinators and created a master Twinnet coordinator spreadsheet that will be used to collect all the information about the Twinnet coordinators. Pim attended a second team meeting and a part DLS day. Pim prepared a workshop and a talk for RX EPSA for this AA. Pim attended the Meet Me Fair and held a live Twinnet market and stayed in contact with the Twinnet coordinators.
Thank you, Pim. Are there any questions or comments to the report? Just to Pim.
Yeah, Slovenia. I just wanted to ask you if you think it would make sense to have like new coordinators meetings like we do for the new LS.
Thank you, Pim.
Mobility coordinator. Yes, I think that would be nice. And this time I used the first Twinnet coordinator meeting for that because most of them changed during the summer, their mandates. So I used that for that a bit. And I will focus on that, and I will probably also investigate it and maybe put it in a handover. But this time I just didn't have time for it because it was a big chaos, as you could have read in my report. So I first wanted to get an overview instead of, and maybe change a bit of some things, instead of directly having a neo student program. So yes, I will investigate it, but I didn't do it this time.
Thank you, Pim. Next, we have PPSA Poland.
About PPSA Poland, is it possible to prepare the estimated schedule of future meetings with the coordinators? Because on dates of those meetings, like the dates of those meetings will have impact of my work between me and my coordinator, local coordinators. So.
Thank you, PPSA. Tim, go ahead.
The mobility coordinator, I totally understand your question. However, during the last meeting, with the Twinnet coordinator meeting, I asked the Twinnet coordinators what they wanted, and they said, generally they said that they wanted a new meeting when I have new updates about things. So I first will have to have updates for them before I plan, because they didn't want to plan one without if there's nothing to say, so to say. So if I have updates, I will plan it, but I will try to plan it ahead as much as possible, because I can understand that will help your work as well.
Thank you, Pim. Then we have Anne.
Marion Annette France, what deadline have you set up for the release of the street?
Okay, clarification.
The mobility coordinator, can you repeat it a bit slowly?
Go ahead, Anne.
Marion Annette France, what deadline have you set up for the release of the street methodology?
Thank you, Anne. Pim.
The mobility coordinator. So I want to have it done at the end of my mandate, but ultimately it would be done before the GA of Slovenia, because I want to present it to you as well. But we just have to investigate how much work it will be, and we don't have really a good overview of that. So preferably before the GA of Slovenia, and otherwise at the end of my mandate. However, I must add, I think the document is never done because it changes all the time, and companies change, and organizations change, their internship thing, the universities change, so it will never be done. But the main thing that I can do will preferably be done before GA of Slovenia.
Thank you, Pim. And next we have PPSA Poland.
Adam, PPSA Poland. I have a question about the second mobility booklet containing information about the grant opportunities. When could you provide us with the information about, about the time when this booklet will come out? Because, I'm just wondering if we will make it on time and manage these grants. If we will be able to apply for those grants before our cleaners, because almost all of the PPSA starts in March or April. So, and the grant process is a big long process. So that is it.
Thank you, PPSA. Pim?
The mobility coordinator, thank you for your question. I understand the question. However, it's this project is more for also the future and not only for this mandate. However, I understand your question. So if I have something related to TwinNets, I will try to send them maybe separately, so we don't have to wait for the whole booklet. But I will just mail them in advance if I have something, because I think that will have the same effect. That's okay.
Thank you, Pim. Then we have Ahmed.
Just back in Portugal. So we noticed that you mentioned in your report that you're trying to implement some more interprofessional training with non-health related student association. And we were wondering, what are you planning to have as an educational program? Because it's mandatory to have this educational program in these students exchanges. So what are your thoughts on it?
Thank you, Ahmed. Pim?
Mobility coordinator. Yes, it would be true. However, I first want to focus on SS because I think it's a bit more interesting for us right now. But if that's going well, I indeed want to look at others as well. And just to clarify, the educational programs can also be going to a museum or having an actual trainer getting us training on soft skills, which can be beneficial for both parties. And also, I mean, if you're with law, we just had a symposium about legislations and regulations, so that's also interesting. So we can see where we fit for both sides.
Thank you, Pim. Then we have a new point from Ahmed.
Just Ahmed Portugal. This is just a suggestion. So in APEF, we have our member associations requesting a lot of presentations on training exchanges. So maybe it would be nice to have an official APSA presentation on training programs, just so we can deliver them in this official way with all the information there. It would be very helpful for the member associations, I think. So.
Thank you, Ahmed. Pim?
Mobility coordinator, yes, that's on my to-do list. I just didn't add it in the report, but it's on my to-do list.
Thank you, Pim. Then we have SPSA.
Rebecca, SPSA Slovakia. Can you tell us more about potential cooperation with Erasmus Network?
Thank you very much, Pim.
Mobility coordinator, I could, but I think I would say the same as Theo just said. So we will have to investigate a bit more. If you have any specific questions, you could ask them, but yeah, this will be investigated.
Thank you, Pim. The speaking list is clear for now. Are there any more questions or comments? I see none, then we'll proceed to the next point. Thank you, Pim. We move on to the Professional Affairs Coordinator, Alexander Mitev. Go ahead, Alex.
Alex, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Since I've made my report, except for attending the secondary meeting and others course, I scheduled the orientation session for mentors. Orientation session basically. I send the updates and calendar invites for the orientation session for mentors for prescriptive reasons. And I sent quite of information on logistics to the alumni taking part in initiative professionals, taking part in the EPSA Open Assembly 2022.
Thank you, Alex. Are there any questions or comments? Ahmed?
Just one virtual, thank you, Alex. We have this question, like your portfolio is like full of activities. You have like a lot of activities to do, and we just want you to have like a reflection. Do you feel that it is like worth it, that your activities are actually reaching people and have the results you're planning for them?
Thank you, Ahmed. Alex?
Can you elaborate a little bit more in more detail?
Go ahead, Ahmed.
Just that by Portugal. Yeah, so your portfolio has a lot of different projects and activities, and like during the previous mandates, some of these activities did not reach out to as many students as they could, and like at APSA, that like an association that represents so many students, sometimes we reflect ourselves if it is worth it to have so many different activities, even though they're not actually reaching to students, you know, and helping them, which was kind of the purpose of the activities themselves.
Thank you, Ahmed. Alex?
Alex, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, I see your point. Although every activity in my portfolio reaches a specific number of people and it can be relevant. And currently in this mandate, we're trying to implement different PR strategies to reach more students, and I currently think it is working. Because, for example, if we take into consideration the last chapter professionals, it went great. And I believe if we continue the same PR strategy for the next, the chapter professionals, if you will, or for different activities for my portfolio, I think it will have the same impact or even better.
Thank you, Alex. Next one is Şüsü Sepede.
Yeah, our question is regarding the mentoring project. So we're sorry if we missed something, but have you made the promo into videos of testimonies of mentees? Because we thought it was a really nice idea and great promotion, but we would love to see it come to life.
Thank you, Alex.
Alex, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, it would have been great, but sadly I received a few submissions, so it wasn't enough for a PR campaign, if you will, this word. But what I plan to do is to continue gathering more feedback and more photos and videos from past mentees, and for example, implement this next year. And I guess we'll see how this turns out depending on the feedback, but for now, sadly this won't be possible because the open call for mentees is open for 2 more weeks, so there isn't time. Even if the new mentees or even if the past mentees submit, there will be time to make a new PR campaign.
Thank you, Alex. Next one we have Anna. Yes, please stand up to ease in the work of scrutiny. Yes, thank you.
By no Annette calls, how many mentors or alumni?
Thank you, Anna. Alex?
Alex, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Quite a few actually. This year we have a lot of new mentors, which is great, but for alumni it's less than 10, so it's not that much.
Thank you, Alex. Next one we have CZPSA. It's a drop, GPSF. Sorry, Director Poland, PPSA Poland.
I'm not PPSA Poland, but does the mentors that who are now the alumni, are they also previous members of member association of EPSA, or just new people from the outside?
Thank you, Alex.
Alex, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Some of them are ex-outsiders, if you will, and I guess this is the case for most of them. Many of them, yeah, I guess it's the case. Most of them are ex-outsiders.
Thank you, Alex. Next one is GPSF.
That's a good quiz. From my personal engagement with some good students during promotion, I gathered that there were many that actually wanted to apply but didn't have the time to prepare the documents because of the AA. Many of them were volunteers, there was the DRC, and I would just like to ask, I know there is a schedule for the whole project, but if it could be possible for the deadline to be pushed back to the day.
Thank you. Alex?
Alex, professional press coordinator. The fun thing is, during the AA, during this whole event, I received so many submissions from people who are here. So I think this may not be the case for everybody, but of course, we can extend the deadline. So don't worry about that.
Thank you, Alex. Now we have Yupsa, Ukraine.
Katerina Yupsa, Ukraine. First, I want to say thank you to Alexander for your work. You're really doing great. And I want to say something like during promotion, the mentoring project, we faced with the problem that we didn't found the mentoring logo as a folder. So I just want to ask your opinion about like, do you want to encourage maybe, I don't know, like who should do this, design coordinator or just public relations department in general, to upload all logos of your department, your projects to the folder, so we can just promote all projects more easily and, you know, just.
Thank you. Alex?
Alex, professional press coordinator. Thank you. I see your point, and I really think you have a point. I think all the logos and the respective PR materials should be in my drive and in the respective format for each association to use. So I think this is a practice that we can start from this year actually, because it would be easy for visibility reasons better.
Thank you, Alex. Now we have BPSA.
After BPSA United Kingdom, so BPSA would like to thank you for the thorough report. I remember I really enjoyed the chart with professional sessions. BPSA would like to query the coordinator whether you would like to have collaboration with other member organizations in posting charts with professionals, given that, for example, BPSA in the United Kingdom, we have diverse professional role of pharmacy and etc. Would you also do these ideas, or is there any plan already about this?
Thank you, BPSA. Alex?
Alex, professional press coordinator. Thank you. Yes, I would like to have speakers and participants from each association because, as we know, we have such an amazing speakers in our countries, in our associations, in our boards, and I'd like for all Europe to have the opportunity to hear and experience this because, especially for the projects under my portfolio, is professional affairs, and I think it's a very good practice if you can share experience from all over Europe. So yeah, I'm so proud of this.
Thank you, Alex. There are no more points on the speaking list. Are there any questions or comments you want to state? If not, then we'll proceed. Thank you. Technical, Gabriel?
Gabriel, President. So no more points were predicted for today, but since we are ahead of schedule, I would propose that we move on to the PR department if everyone is comfortable with that. I seem mostly positive.
There's general agreement. Just a technicality for us with the presentation. Thank you. Then we technical, Abed.
Yeah, but also, can we turn the AC on, please?
Okay. There is agreement in the room. Ahok, do you have some direct? There is still agreement though, so.
Yes, Annika Austria, could we agree on the temperature before? I would suggest 24 or 23 degrees. As I checked the weather outside, it should be around 25 to 26 degrees right now, and I don't want it to be much lower than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jakob. Technical, EPSA.
Another one, can we just open the window because like they're so windy because of that AC and like the air is dry and like after when sick after the first session was Jason, can we just open the window and I think it would be much better than turning on the AC. Thank you.
Okay, are we okay with opening the window or no? There is general agreement, and there is bullshit from APEP. APEP?
Helena, I'm Portugal. There will be mosquitoes here, so.
Thank you. Bullshit pastor.
Marcus Perez, I would like the executive to investigate the possibility to give anti-mosquito spray to electoral members.
Thank you. We'll consider this for the next mock GA. We proceed to the public relations department. There are no comments. More than the first one is Vice President of Public Relations, Federico Chiora. Go ahead, Federico.
Federici, VVDR, hope you can hear me. Okay. So since the submission of my report, I also submitted the current proposal of the EFSA corporate identity to the GA package. I had a meeting with the EA department along with the PR department, attended an OEM, read the second meeting reports of the EFSA team, worked on the promotion of the auction and raffle for the AA22, the call for the support of AC23, the publications of some pending editions of Science Monthly, the design for the Midway Fair certificate, and supported the NOM department for materials needed for the AA22. I gave input on the design of the policy and advocacy toolkit. I gave input on the final monthly dose design. I had a fortnightly meeting with Gabrielle, prepared the PR points for the second meeting and the PR strategy for the AA22. Attending the second meeting, published the editions I mentioned about the Science Monthly and a booklet on diabetes for the Latvian public health campaign, and continued supporting the EDU department with materials and setup for the EFSA, and also supported the setup for the EFSA Medicine, and began attending the AA22.
Thank you, Frey. Are there any questions or comments to this report? Ape, go ahead.
This is Ape for Show. Thanks, Greg. So about your 5.3 APIs, you didn't organize any PR consultations with any astronomy associations accordingly to your PR results. So do you have any plans to make it feasible to consult all 42 member stations until the third meeting in December?
Thank you, Ape. Frey?
Federico PPR, Federico, sorry, being official. But indeed, the reason that there were no presentations planned is because the final plan for how we would like to launch the corporate identity is to establish a baseline for the SCA, basically all of the points that we were unofficially using all of the previous years without really having them written down somewhere. So that during these consultations I could actually get the input more specifically on what we improve, what to add, what to change in that corporate identity document. And as far as the implementation goes of basically those meetings, this has been basically the plan initially, like after the open assembly to focus completely on collecting input and updating both identity and therefore the strategy. So the timeline has been planned around that in the first place.
Thank you, Federici. Are there any more questions? Albert?
Albert Portugal. We were wondering, we noticed that in many reports there are sometimes, like they mention that there are some problems regarding PR deadlines or the PR work in general. Do you have any strategy to solve this, or have you?
Thank you, Albert. Federici, go ahead.
Federici with PPR. Indeed, we had certain issues given the workload that the department had, as along with the workload that we usually have as a department every year with the promotion of the EPSA project. We also had additional work this year because we want to implement the changes in the corporate identity and also have finally their strategy. So that kind of basically goes off base of the standard planning that the previous PR departments were following. As far as how to tackle this, we already took correctional measures with other departments. We had meetings with them in order to adjust our strategy and responsiveness to them, but also how to approach common projects. And we are indeed in the implementation of those. And of course, we want to continue that throughout the mandate. Like this doesn't stop here. Wherever something can be fixed, we will be fixing along with the departments we collaborate with.
Thank you, Fred. And we have Direct from Albert.
Albert Portugal, but regarding these issues, are you able to actually identify them?
Thank you, Federici.
Federici with PPR, indeed. Basically, there were the issues were centralized around two different main areas, and that would be along the task allocation within the department. As you might know, the PR subcommittee was formed quite later than it usually is formed in the mandates, and therefore the work distribution inside the department was higher than we expected. Therefore, the initial plan that we had on how to distribute some of ourselves were not followed as we would have liked to. And also, one of the main issues, as it was also mentioned in the President's report, was that we were not as consistent as we would have liked, basically, with following up in the Common Task Management platform.
Thank you, Fred. And we have a new point from Albert. It's a draw, PhD.
Teresa, PhD. So in your report you mentioned that keeping the website updated is something that you want to achieve during this mandate. And we have realized that all our contact information is, let's say, it's outdated. Carolina is still on there, as well as Kathy. Would there be a way to introduce a workflow that this could be updated continuously with less of a delay?
Thank you, Federici.
Federici with PPR. This has been previously and officially discussed, but let's also have this officially in the GA. Indeed, this has always been a problem, like even before we had needed to do the restructure of the page, because basically all of the information were part of the same HTML page. So you can imagine how big part of about this. Therefore, because we were always falling behind even in previous mandates, even before we had to implement the restructure of that particular page, we actually shifted the approach this year, and we created individual pages for each member association so that the updates can be done faster. And at the moment, basically, the only thing pending is the publication of those pages, like the new information has been finally added. And hopefully this new strategy will allow us also to be faster, because we won't need to change all of the pages basically every single time and unless changes, but only the individual page of the member association.
Thank you. Ahmed, go ahead.
So last year we noticed that the PR committees were not being managed efficiently. We actually mentioned this during previous discussions, and we were wondering if you do consider that the PR committees are now being better managed and that they are actually being helpful for the management of the departments and for conducting their work.
Thank you. Frederici?
Frederici, VPPR. First of all, I would like to disclaim that given that we did not have as much time as previous years, the opinion that I might be giving now might shift throughout the mandate, as I have basically been seeing the work of the subcommittee for less months than my predecessors did in this period of the year. But exactly, there has been a shift on basically how we want the PR subcommittee to be working and how already somehow tasks have been assigned to them. So far in the previous mandates, what was happening is that the subcommittee members would just do some menial tasks as a follow-up of the tasks of the coordinators without really having super much creative liberty on the work they were doing. Now what we're trying to implement is direct assignment of tasks to them, like they can do designs on their own, so long as there is a general instruction on how those designs should look like for the design coordinator, for example. Instead of just having to add content in a pre-made design like it was happening in previous years. So I think that both.
Thank you, Frank. The minute has passed. Arthur, go ahead.
Portugal. So another question is that we've been noticing that from the last mandate, the PR department kind of has like some problems that are still going each mandate. So our question is, do you have any, like, are you, like, as a department, are you aware of this? Do you have anything planned to change it, maybe?
Thank you, Frederici.
Frederici, VPPR. I think indeed, having been in the PR department in the previous years myself, even though in a position that was not directly always related with design and social media, which is the main groundwork of that department, I have seen that there are things that can be improved. It needs to be mentioned though that I think, that we think actually, not only we, because this has been a topic discussed, that the changes of having an actual PR strategy and also cohesiveness of all designs through the corporate identity could already minimize that extra work that we have done, because there will be some set ways of working, some standard procedures on how to do things that would simplify the creative process behind each design, which can take long and therefore can throw us on timelines.
Thank you, Ray. Arthur, go ahead.
Portugal. So we recognize the importance of this corporate identity. The thing is, we have been feeling that this is kind of compromising the efficiency. Okay, so the efficiency of the PR procedures by sharing the activities and everything, and this is also compromising the adherence of students to all the activities. So maybe do you have anything planned to, like, even though you're working on this abstract corporate identity and working, changing all this stuff, but in a way of also keeping like PR strategies there.
Thank you, Frederici.
Frederici, VPPR. As already mentioned, we are taking corrective steps and we have already seen improvements in our work in collaboration with the other departments, basically both on the management and prioritization of tasks, but also on the allocation of the tasks themselves, which already is helping a lot with the initial issues that we have noticed, and we need to also see the full implementation because these changes are recent. But I also need to mention that change is hard. Like, there is a reason why we are doing this, and we might be going through a difficult period, but still the promotion that needs to be happening with limited cases of this not being the fact, still has happened, the projects have been promoted, so it's not like nothing else is happening along with that change. And we feel that it's still worth doing that change exactly in order to not have this happen even in mandates that are not doing changes, and finally fix how the PR department has been struggling through the years.
Thank you, Ray. Abel?
Well, Portugal, this is our last question, I think. So we mentioned in previous discussions as well during the past GA, if I'm not mistaken, that it would be actually beneficial for APSA maybe to consult our member associations or their PR strategies, because we have a lot of member associations that have pretty strong PR strategies that actually work and like are able to engage the students that each one of them represents. So would you maybe consider to have these moments where you actually could discuss this with the member associations, not only with the LSs, but also with our PR coordinators in our boards?
Thank you, Federici.
Federici, BPPR, indeed, this is something that I personally aspire to have with this communication. The thing is that firstly, we need to remember that throughout one of the online LS meetings, this topic was brought up to the LSs and was not really supported throughout the time. Still, on a personal level, as basically speaking as BPPR, I think this is a valuable input to have, and that is the reason why I want to hold this consultation with you in the first place, so that we can also see the working methods, not only specifically about the corporate identity, but also to learn how we work with each other, how we communicate with each other, to make something out of this initial consultation and see how we can implement it also for future consultations.
Thank you, Frey. Are there any more comments or questions to this report? I see none, then we'll proceed to the next report, which will be the Information Technology Coordinator, Shermaine Chan. Go ahead.
Shermaine Chan, IT coordinator. So after the report, I attended several meetings, such as the APT walkthrough and then within the IT department. So it's about what I need to consider for the IT assembly, such as live streams. And what I'm working right now is updating the website as well, and have pages to be published for the member association and publications. So also, these are the what I'm doing right now.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments to the report? Okay. Ahmed.
So, Portugal, thanks, Charmaine. We were wondering if you have like a calendar or like deadlines for when the website should be functioning and like updated with all the information that we need to keep.
Thank you, Charmaine.
So when I started documenting, I was actually sure what actually I hope to achieve. I actually did have a plan of action, but I don't know how I should be doing it. So that's why at the start of it, I said that I have a calendar and have to update from time to time. But as I'm working like for these a few months, I just realized that it's not a date that from time to time over a period of time. It's whenever there's like update from my committee members and they said that they want to change, then I should do it as soon as possible, but not as like collecting as much as I can and then do it like at the deadline. So from these 3 months, I changed the plan, that is to do it as soon as possible.
Thank you. We now have PhD with a direct comment.
Thank you very much. I think it's very honorable that you want to address issues as they come along, but we have to be also address the hold-up that was there before you started your job. And I'm really sorry for you having to take care of it. But do you think you have an action plan from what you want to target next and how you're going to schedule it over the year?
Thank you. Next is BPSA with a direct comment. Is this still direct to what BPHD just said?
No.
We'll take it as a new point. Thank you. Shermaine, go ahead.
From the previous, maybe probably from here to comment, but I will focus on what I can achieve as a coordinator into improving, such as what I will be planning in several few months. So because I've been coming into the committee quite lately, and I actually used some time of the handover into learning how the systems is, because no one actually learned, because it requires like different knowledge. So what, as what you said for like dealing with plans, I would actually think it's have the better communication with updates, such as maybe sending an email threads, so to better communicate with all the LS, so that I can collect all the maybe information or what I need to update on the website. It's mainly my plan of action. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a technical from Gabriel.
Gabriel, President. The last 3 or 4 interventions were all without saying name and position, and that can make things really hard, especially for Elisa, so please do remember to say that.
Thank you, Gabriel. We have a clarification from BPSA.
After the United Kingdom, we would like to know if it was direct to the IT coordinator, would that be a new point or direct? Because we would raise the hand after English to raise the hand, but then we would want to direct the IT coordinator. Is that something that a new point or effective? What was the definition?
So to clarify the procedure of the direct comment is put on the list of direct comments, and they follow as the discussion goes. So your direct comment is the thing that is said directly before you. So in your case, it would be a direct comment to what your PhD just said. If not, then we put it as a new point on our list, so you're still on the waiting list with your point. We have technical from Apple.
Annika from Austria, we didn't understand anything. Thank you.
Just to explain, it was the request to clarify the directs.
I just hear noises from the street.
Technical, BPSA?
After BPSA, I think the BPSA was thinking, can we shut the window and open the AC? Because it's hot here and it's brown out there. But yeah.
Is the room okay with shutting the window and turning on the AC? Okay, most delegations agree. In the meantime, while we take care of this, we can take a new point from the PhD. But you didn't, so you drop it. Okay, it's a drop. Then we have PPSA.
Another basic one. Is it possible to focus on updates of the information about investigation, like those pages with information of investigation, because it's really outdated. Like some investigation are missing, and for example, in the PPSA page, there is still the picture information of LS from 2019, and like it was 3 years ago. So like. And this is really important because, for example, if you want to make a winner for something, it would be really comfortable to find contact to people from other countries. So, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. This point was already taken during the previous report of the DPTR, so please let's not repeat the questions. We now move to the next new point, which is from Aneth. It's a drop. Next, Pascal. It's a draw. Then we have BPSA. Yes.
After BPSA, so it is about the technical calendar. BPSA UK, I understand that you have your job tasks are on demand, so there may not be a solid sort of deadline thing. But BPSA UK would like to recommend that perhaps you can set a time frame on which after a task was set up, let's say maybe 2-3 days after you would finish this, or 1-2 weeks depending on the task nature, that could give a more clear, transparent and more structured guide for you to your work in that case, given your task is on demand nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. We proceed to APEP.
Well, but first of all, if we were to ask you, when do you think you'll have the website ready, what would be your answer?
Thank you, APEP. Charmaine, go ahead.
Sure, can IT coordinator, I'm not quite sure if, can I like try like understand what question is, my plan on how to get things done? Can you repeat please? Thank you.
Yes, APEP, there you go.
Just to wrap it for sure. So my question was, if we were to ask you when you think you'll have like the website ready, like when will it be? So what's your prediction to have it ready?
Thank you. Charmaine, go ahead.
Charmaine Chan, IT coordinator. I would say I would hope to improve the efficiency to 3 days because I think if I will actually maybe 3 to 5, 2 to 3 days because I think it actually depends on how like a lot of things is what you want to change the website to say it's actually a new whole new website that will be taking several like days because you need to like maybe not only just putting the information but also like organizing it and maybe like different but I would say that less days would be the best answer because efficiency is like thank you.
Thank you. Clarification from BPHD.
Helena, BPHD. Just small question. Is the 3 days for what you think you'll need if we give you something to update that you will implement it? Or is that a misunderstanding here?
Thank you. Go ahead.
I would say like a Charmaine Chan IT coordinator. 3 days within 3 days that will like make the update the website. But what I said was 3 to 5 days. But this is like the most days that will allow myself. But yeah.
Thank you. Gabriel, technical.
Gabriel, President. I feel like we're going a little bit in circles here because the floor is asking about the general update that's needed now, and you're replying about the updates individually that will happen after this general update, the one that we also talked about in the meeting. So try to just say that the update that we talked about in the meeting, the general website update, when will that be ready? Like November, December?
Thank you, Gabriel. After, do you still want to take the direct? Is it drop? Charmaine?
Sorry, Charmaine Chan IT coordinator. Sorry, I misunderstood the whole question. In general, then I would say by November, I hope to have, to start November, I got like a month, so I hope that by November. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then we have BPHD with a new point. Okay, it's dropped. The speaking list is clear. Are there any more questions or comments? Clarification from APEP.
Just wrap it for sure, just to make sure we understood, like the end of these comments.
Yeah.
Charmaine, go ahead.
Charmaine Chan IT coordinator. Yes.
Thank you very much. Any more comments or questions? If none, then we'll proceed. Thank you, Charmaine. Technical Federici.
Thank you, PPR. The rest of the hardware coordinators are not really available at the moment to present, so because they are at the moment in a workshop with one of our partners, so they will not be able to present the reports as far as design coordinator and social media coordinator goes. And as Sandra, our public cases coordinator goes, he is at the moment at the hospital, so we will be either way getting a report later on probably.
Gabriel, technical.
Gabriel present. Taking this into consideration, we will take these two reports tomorrow as they were scheduled, and we will take Sandra's report as soon as it is possible when she leaves the hospital. And I would propose that since we still have, no, we only have 12 minutes. Yeah, since we still have 12 minutes to take the LS report this morning. Just to explain why we're moving so many things around, we did receive a bunch of member motions that we did not have knowledge on, even though the VC did tell you to reach out to the executive for the content before. So we will need more points there. Yeah. When we assess the floor now to see if you agree with taking just this one 5-minute point still, please take into consideration that we still want you to have a free afternoon tomorrow.
There is general agreement in the room. So let's proceed with the LS reports agenda point. Okay, we now have the open floor for discussion on the LS reports. So if you all have any questions, remarks, comments, or inquiries regarding any of the LS reports provided in the G package, you can voice them now by raising a new point. We have a new point from Marina.
As we already discussed in the last meeting, not everyone was here, just for information. We will also open up the space after the GA, so in November, to really in-depth discuss all your reports and the activity in between, and also like maybe how to like restructure the LS report and what we can do to improve like interaction and usefulness of the report.
Thank you, Marina. Do we have any more comments? I see none. Gabriel, technical?
Gabriel present. Then I would ask Elisa to perform the roll call so that we can finish the GA session. Thank you for allowing us to do one more call.
Thank you, Gabriel. Elisa, go ahead.
Elisa Sekten, I have AFOP Austria, VFSO Belgium, VPHSA Bulgaria, CPSA Croatia, CCPSA Czech Republic, SOT Denmark, ANN France, VPHD Germany, GPSF Greece, LPSA Latvia, SFA Lithuania, MPSA North Macedonia, APSP the Netherlands, TPSA Poland, APF Portugal, FASTER Romania, NAPSTER Serbia, SPSA Slovakia, SHSTD Slovenia, FEF Spain, UPSA International Turkey, VPSA United Kingdom.
Please remain quiet. They're standing on the last place. Just a few more seconds until the roll call is over. Please be patient. Go ahead, Lisa.
Elisa Sekten, I have received 21 voting cards.
And that's in the standing orders.
Any decades, we'll see you tomorrow.
Just so you know, I will update the agenda accordingly, so check it out in 5 minutes.